All right, traders, I ended up identifying 3 potential trade ideas for today. I'm going to be sharing with you on where I think the bull and bear traps are going to get created based off of today's price action in the history of the daily chart. So let's get straight into these trade ideas. So first things first, we are going to be starting off with the call option idea. Right now, SPY is on an uptrend. So if this does see a nice pullback later throughout the day, I'm going to be interested in buying calls on a previous resistance level that had a nice breakout that was never retested. It just kept on trending up from that level. So what would that previous resistance level be that was never retested and it just kept on trending up? It would be right here at 416, 20 to 416.30. If SPY were to drop back down to that level, I would be interested in buying calls because it's on a bullish uptrend, and if it has an overreaction to the downside, it's going to try to turn this previous resistance that hasn't been tested that triggered a major bear trap into a support level. So that's why I would be interested in buying down there. Now, in terms of our 2 trade ideas for puts, this is the key. We're interested in doing puts towards 418.78. Why? Because we have a gap to fill above that has never been tested at 418.78, and SPY is due for a short-term pullback, and it's likely going to pull back once it closes this gap at 418.78. It can also begin to pull back in the lower end of the zone at previous support that was never retested at 418.40. So in between that zone, the higher the level, the better, right? And our stop is going to be above 419, right around above 419 on that. And if we do get stopped out, we're going to be looking to do puts at one more higher level. We'll be waiting for 420.10. 420.10 was the support level that was never tested if you go back and watch my videos. So we're looking to do puts at 418.40 to 418.78 zone, higher the level the better. If we get stopped out above like 419-ish, then we're going to be targeting puts at 420.10. And then for the calls, we're looking to do calls at previous resistance that was never tested. So if it dropped back to previous resistance that was never tested, that had a massive, bear trap, we're going to be targeting calls at 416.30. Those are the best trade ideas that I have for you. Now, I'm going to share with you a 30-minute pattern on why and how we can potentially pull back once we fill this gap at 418.78, right, for the gap close reversal. So look at this. You have a green, red, green, and then 2 more green on the 30-minute, and then it just gets crushed. It went from 416 all the way down to 414. It dropped 2 points. Now look at this. You have the same pattern. Green, red, green, and then you have 1 more green. What happens on the next 30-minute green candle? That's the beginning of the downtrend. It has a nice spike, and then it just gets crushed. And then it recovers after a 2-point drop, which is why we're going to be looking to target calls at that 416 level. So if that history and that pattern repeats itself, it's going to try to drop and sell off next 30-minute candle in between that, likely around the 15-minute mark, likely around like 10:45 a.m., right around there. It's going to try to drop and sell off around, 419, 4817, 418.70. We're going to be targeting puts there nicely. Our stop will be like 419.30, 419.40, right around there. And then we retarget at 420.10 if we're stopped out. And then calls, basically a $2 drop from the highs. We're interested in 416.30 to 416.10. That is how you trade the best setups at the best prices. Those trade ideas that I gave you are going to be absolutely phenomenal. We are going to absolutely crush it today. We will see you guys within the chat. I already strategically planned them all for this.